Hey guys, welcome back to the Vault here at LockedTCG for another Dragon Ball Super gameplay video at our local tournament here at over at Koalaty Game Store over in Chicago, Illinois. Today we have our local recent game for the finals actually with our teammate Robby piloting Agents of Destruction and playing against a new person to the shop, Jordan, who's piloting his take on Soul Striker. Here on the video, I have both Xavier and Robby again. Welcome back to the video, guys. And Robby, how do you feel knowing that AOD is possibly going to be banned at the store because this is the third week in a row you're in the finals?
Well, I mean, if AOD gets banned from the store, I'm going to cry because I already got, like, as you know, I played AOD for a long time. When we first got seriously into the game, then it was the first deck that I actually fell in love with back when I was using the Blue Dende leader and actually the Agent Secret Rare. And so in general, I am very happy that it's been doing so well. The reboot made me, when it first came out, made me really happy. And it just makes me happy overall that AOD just has not fallen off, that we keep finding ways to keep it alive.
Yeah, Xavier, what's your opinion on that?
Honestly, I just hope that they finally run out of ways to bring AOD back. It should just be like, something as painful to say as original green cell.
Okay, see, now the issue is, I think original green cell was a little more toxic. But for this video, you were playing against Soul Striker Robby. I think this is your first blue matchup you've played in a while outside of when I played Invoker. How did it, was this like a different feeling when you were playing against Soul Striker today? Or was this the first Soul Striker you've ever played against with AOD?
This is the first Soul Striker that I had played against, so the immense energy on tap was definitely frightening, as well as that card right there that he played, the Kai, very annoying because it essentially made me not want to use my counterplay or my counterattack cards, because I would have to, in order to play them, I'd be having to discard cards from my hand. And that hurts a lot, especially for AOD, because a lot of it is continuously trying to keep the upper hand by having a larger hand.
I was gonna say too, because that card was so funny because recently after that locals, I know in the previous video I mentioned my Super Saiyan 3 deck, but then also with all my other blue decks, I went back and I'm like, this card's not too bad. It's a 1-drop body, nets you a card. And essentially it's like, oh, your opponent's like playing counterplays or counterattacks during your turn. Well, they're going to have to pitch a card to do it. So I'm like, depending on what deck I was playing, especially the Super Saiyan 3 that lets me, like, my whole goal of the deck is just to tap out my energy, and then I untap 3 blue during my end step. It's a nice free 1-drop body. And I was looking through my bulk, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have any. And I found 5, one of which was a foil. And I'm like, I didn't know I bought this much Miraculous Revival. Xavier, have you put that card into any of your decks?
I do have them on the... Before anything, I bought a whole playset of them foil, because I was like, if I do revive one of my many blue decks, it will be in there because way too many decks drop cards on my turn. And after seeing how everything played out, I have since added that playset into one of my decks now.
No, and that's the same thing with me. Is actually, I went back and looked at the deck because after playing my blue deck personally, I'm like, there's a bunch of other things I could do, and I already know what my end game I want it to be, so I'm like, I'm going to put them, like, the build up to there, and that card actually helps. Now, not for every deck, I don't play as 4, but now, Robby, what was your, did you have a solution to get around it? Did you try and spot removal it? What'd you try and do?
For the most part, I was originally planning to try and spot removal it, but at the same time, I don't have a lot of spot removal. My main spot removal that I use is the Broly, so because... either way, I want to get it out there, 20k body, and then it lets me... It's my only non-specified search card. so it can help me get out a secret rare or any of the other non-agent cards in my deck that will help me. Because I just get to look at the top 3, put whichever one I want in my hand, and the other 2 to drop.
Okay. And then I was gonna say too, because this game was interesting because I remember you called me over for. I know you didn't call me over. You guys were talking about a ruling that we'll get to at one point, and we'll address it when we get to it. But I know there was like a lot of stuff you were questioning because you haven't played against like a mono blue control deck in a long while, right? So there were a bunch of questions you had about interactions and stuff.
Oh yeah, because I definitely can be a little off for what exactly for, like counter play or counter attack timing. Like I've had to ask Xavier a few questions before because of how when you have to declare, when you have to reveal, because there's always those specifications that can throw you off. And when it comes to, as you move forwards to more serious tournament play, those timings become a lot more important.
Yeah, I was going to say too. I know especially when I played against Jordan was in my second round. With this deck, he especially draws a lot of cards. So like he has a bunch of like one drop cards that him one card. Like it's a tradable, but then the one drop card on the field still is a body that actually helps. I haven't personally played it because I know I didn't play them in the variant of the deck I had last week, but I did change it this week and I did put some in. He was one card, and I know he has in his hand right now, is Goku the Calamity Challenger. I remember when that, I think was Supreme Rivalry the summer set, Xavier? Or was it Cross Spirits?
I believe it was Cross Spirits.
So, because he came out in that set, and when he came out, I remember he was like $1. No one wanted him. They're like, oh, he's such a trash card, and people were tossing him to the side, and I was like I'm like, hey, what do you want for it? They're like, oh, just give me like for 2. I give him $1 or something, and I was looking at the card. I'm like, the second effect you really don't play because you don't play a Trunks Youth Leader, but outside of that, to have. If you have 3 energy, a 1-drop deflect blocker who nets you a card, I'm like, that seems pretty good. Because essentially what you're doing is like, for example, like Soul Striker, and for my case where I untap 3 blue and Super Saiyan 3, I can play, if I have 2 in hand, I play 2, I draw 2 cards, I guarantee we'll have something on the field because they have deflect unless it's a 2-step counter, it's a 2nd-step counter play. Which even at that point, that's going to be a resource they have to use, which may take, like, maybe they won't want to. And I think he's a 15k blocker too, so he stops early leader swings and stuff like that. Because a lot of times you have people who don't, like, a lot of leaders don't want to swing early. But what I was trying to get to was, if you looked recently, I don't know. I know we'll discuss more, just some topics about it when we get to it, because at this point when we're recording the video, we've already seen the ban list. They did show the ban list, Bandai posted. But I noticed Calamity Challenge had a buyout. Like, when I last looked at it, and I'm going to pull it up right now while we're recording this, he was at $20 a piece.
Yes, I did in fact pull it up just not too long ago. It is $20 a piece.
Yeah. Yep, it's still there. Yep.
And the last listing is $100.
As a meme, of course. That one's definitely for a joke.
Crazy.
The best part is, because I don't think they're going to sit at $20, because looking right now, the last realistic prices people were paying was $14. Because I'm like, it's such a good blue staple, and I'm surprised no one was playing it. And I know there was a small buyout earlier when it went up to $5. Like, it went to 10 and then dropped back down to 5. And I noticed that one. But I'm like, there's no way it's going to sit at $4. I'm like, it's too good of a card. Like, if you're trying to go for the stall game, like long con, it's such a great value. But then now, was that a card that came up a lot in this game, Robby, or no?
Surprisingly, no. I don't think he actually ended up playing it at all. What was you said something about with that, because I don't know that much about that card, about it having some requirement for 3 energy?
You would have to have 3 energy, I think it's when you have 3 energy, you pay 1 blue.
As long as if your leader's a blue Saiyan and you have 3 energy.
Yeah, and then you pay 1,
Okay,
you
that's
play him, draw a card, and
because
he has
my deck is essentially still, even though I try to play it somewhat more mid-range, it is still very effective aggro. So you typically turn tier 3 or 4, the game is ending. Mm-hmm. And so he probably didn't think that it was going to get him that much of a payout, especially because even having 1 more blocker for the cost to get him out, to get 1 extra blocker, wasn't going to help enough, because my strategy isn't 1 big boy that's going to just swing full out. It's getting all the little boys that are just gonna, we've got the perfect strategy. Group up and hit them till they die.
I was gonna say, now my thing is, we're on it's your turn 3, and if I'm not mistaken, do you have him down at 3 energy? 3 life?
Yeah, because
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, his leader's already awakened. What the? I'm like, what happened? I blink and you are already pushing this guy to a limit. And the funniest part is, because I know this game went on for a fairly decent amount of time, and I'm just looking, I'm like, we're already at his turn 2, and he's at that point, and I was gonna say, a card that's a saving grace for blue decks is Sensubean, right? Like, against you?
Yeah.
Because it just
because they get both their leader, especially if they're on the awakened side, then they'll be able, I'll have to then start to combo with almost every attack just to be able to deal the damage.
The only other card I think that would definitely challenge AOD is Protector of the People.
That's true, because it gives your leader 5k every time. The only problem is, like, I can't play in my decks per se, is because I do random charges, and I can't risk. Even last week, it felt so bad. I'm playing 1 black card in that deck because my baby hatch in the mail hadn't come yet, and it was a Kai secret rare, which is the next best thing. And I told myself, I'm like, what are the odds when I go in for my first swing, I'm gonna put the Kai in my energy? And she wasn't there, and I'm like, oh my god. And I was lucky, was by turn 2, I got her out, and I was able to play the Buu Unison because I ramped up to 4 energy. And I had a Sensubean in hand. But I know, like, in a lot of blue decks, you don't want to have not blue energy charged because it hurts. But in other decks, I can understand playing, because Protector of the People is a good card. I think it's a 1-drop. It's a 1-drop that lets you say, if you want to keep attacking, take the 5k every time.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons a lot of people don't main deck that card is that it's only good against decks that are going to be continuously trying to attack you with a lot of battle cards. Yeah. Because there's multiple decks that concentrate on just getting 1 big boy out to just hit full strength, and so it's like, cool, you gained a whole 5k. I'm still at like 35k triple strike. Let's go.
Now my question is, Soul Striker, I can't remember what his effect, Xavier, if you can remind me. When does he get the untap? What's the condition he has to meet?
When he attacks.
When he attacks, you just untap 2 mono blue energy.
Okay.
Yep.
See, and that's kind of good with him, but then obviously yellow decks can stop it just by keeping him tapped, or he can't swing. But my thing is, because like,
there's a lot of...
I was gonna say, because like he just tapped out 3 to play the baby unison, and I'm like, huh. But then I was like wondering how he untapped. So he'll essentially have 2 energy after this swing.
Yeah. There are a few cards that punish Soul Striker. I've gone into conversations. They only most of them only exist in the only one card I know of. They have one in blue, green, or red. It's the Kami. There's the Raditz, and there's a Borgos. All 3, your opponent does something, untaps, you can throw one of their energy into the drop.
Yeah, it's when it uses a non-awakened skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's like the bane of Soul Striker, because then essentially if they swing and untap, they're losing energy at the same time.
And it's fun because like most Soul Striker decks, they don't have like counterplays that keep cards they don't put them in the drop. They either shuffle them back in the deck or put them back into your hand. And considering Borgos is a 1-drop, that effect its auto is just draw 1 card when it plays. it's not usable. It's not really a good reason to waste resources, especially in a blue versus blue deck. It becomes more of a strength game where
Yeah.
if you don't, you have to bounce that card on your turn and do all your plays before that card comes back out because you can't do anything else after.
Mm-hmm. No, I was gonna say, and then here Jordan's going to play another one of the Kais, really making Robby, if he wants to do something, he's gonna get punished for it.
Yeah.
See, and so so he does play one Calamity Challenger, at least it seems.
Okay, that's the Goku Calamity Challenger.
Yeah, that guy.
You see, that's why I said reacted the way that I did earlier. That when it was playing, that Goku doesn't seem to be too much of an effect of changing my aggro strategy. For me, it's just another blocker.
Yeah, because I think he is a 15k if I see it. Yeah, he's a 15k.
Yeah.
And then like the
If it
Kai's
was a
also
20K, it'd be good.
Yeah, I just know because I know with his build he got a couple things, and I was gonna say because a new card for Blue Staples is with Jordan having such a field like this sometimes, and people not getting rid of it. I'm surprised he's not playing the Kaba from Saiyan Showdown, where it's like if you have 3 blue or yellow cards in your battle area or combo area, you pay 3, activate battle, you can play him. He's a dual attack blocker unique, and then he has the ability, what was it? If he's played during your turn, you draw 2 cards. If he plays during your opponent's turn, I think he's KOs a 4-drop, or no, he switches a 4-drop to rest. No, he spins one. He spins a 4-drop back to the bottom. And then, I'm actually pulling mine up right here just to verify because I have my deck right next to me. If it's your opponent's turn, place up to one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 4 or less at the bottom of the deck. Then then you switch a blue energy effect. So essentially, he's a 2 instead of a 3 because he untaps 1. And then on top of that, he has the ability of not only being a dual attacker, but at the end of your turn, if you did a dual attack swing with him, you get him back as a blocker as he untaps at the end of your turn. I was saying, I'm surprised he's not playing it, because especially with like as many bodies as he can get in this. Maybe it's because of deck constraints. Even I know with me it's a deck constraint as well, because it's very reliant on having those cards. But then I also play Barrier of Hope, and then I believe if I'm not mistaken, Xavier, if you go say into a combat and say he swung with Soul Striker, and then he untapped. Say he did Sensu Beam, Barrier of Hope, and like Barrier of Hope for 5k, and then he had the Kai. That would meet the conditions for the Trunks because technically they're in the combo area at the time, correct? All right, for the combo.
Not the Barrier of Hope. Considering it is an activate battle, it would go to drop. It's just giving 5k power.
So wait, but with the Sensu Beam too, then that count?
No, that is also just giving 5k
gotcha.
power.
So it has to actually be a battle card from combo. Because that's what I was wondering. I was wondering because it doesn't say battle card. It just says card in combo area.
Yeah, because but they're technically not in the combo area. They're not producing combo power. They're producing power. They're giving your card.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Temporary or permanent power.
No, for sure. I was just curious about how it would work. But I overall think the Cabo is a really good card.
How much does the Cabo cost to bring it out again?
3. It's 3 energy.
That's probably why.
Well,
it'd be more useful for going aggro. Because if you look at it, most of the blockers that he brings out are lower cost to be able to, protect himself.
Well, that's the thing is the Goku is a 1-drop, and the Child's Army Reinforcement is technically free, just striking that energy. But what I was trying to say was, Robby, it's technically a 2 because it untaps a blue energy when it's played during your opponent's turn. And on top of that, he's also a blocker. And then he also spins a card. So, like, in this case, for example, if he, say, Kabbed you right now, he would have been able, like, say, to spin one of those Agent of Destructions back and put it at the bottom of your deck. He would then get 1 blue energy back. And he would have had a blocker. That's a 19k blocker. So you would have to combo out to kill him. And he can just say combo... Say you do 15 combo 1, 20k versus 19. He just combos 1 to save it. Then he still has that 20k. And I know in this case he used Hatch, so he was dropping that because he wanted... Wait, did he... Oh, is he choosing for...
So he went to... I believe he tried to win it not too long ago.
For Robby?
Jordan.
Well, no, Robby's the one attacking, no?
What? I think I ended up either ahead or behind.
Is
Where am I?
Hatch on your field? Is Hatch on his field right now?
Yeah, Hatch is on the field.
Well,
I think I'm ahead.
he just played Hatch. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think I ended up ahead. I don't know when that happened.
So Hatch is on the field, and essentially, what's going on is he just played the Hatch. If you guys want to check, I did share it in the Discord. We still are getting used to this whole recording process remotely, guys. But essentially, he played the Hatch. Robby was trying to push. I know he put the Hatch. I know in the next turn, Jordan started pushing really hard. And I was really surprised Robby was able to outlast.
That's what I was going to bring up, but considering I was ahead, we'll wait till that scene pops up.
Well, I was going to say, if you want to see where we are, you can just hop in the Discord. I started live streaming it for everyone.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so if you want to stay on point of where I am, I got that. But I think, Rob, you were on point. It was your turn. You were swinging, and he played the Hatch. But at that point, because I think Hatch just says you can't swing anymore, right?
Yep.
Correct.
I can't swing with, I don't believe, like, leader, unison, doesn't matter. Hatch is definitely a very difficult card to deal with agents because it fully does just say, hey, your turn's done. So all I could do is bring out about whatever bodies I can and just so that way I can prepare for the next turn.
Mm-hmm. And the thing with this deck is he has Hatch, but at the same time, since he's playing the baby unison, it's even stronger because I know he plays the Golden Ape, and the Golden Ape is something I actually recently considered switching to my deck. What do you? So I don't know. Like it's an interesting match.
Oh yeah, the baby ape is definitely very good, very difficult to deal with because you get it out there. Not only is it good for its counterplay effect, but that's a 30k triple striker. That's scary.
No, and then also when he plays him too, he gets to spin something ignoring barrier, right?
Yep, he could get rid of the Bobbity.
Not the Bobbity.
I need those bobbities.
Always the Bobbity.
I was gonna say, is that the same Bobbity you've
Bobbity.
had since turn 1? That's currently.
Yeah, you see,
Well,
typically people don't normally get rid of my Bobbity that much because even though it's a 1 cost, it has barrier. So and I never do anything with it. It just sits there. So typically no one really does much to it. It just sits there all game.
Mm-hmm.
Real, crazy players like me always target the Bobbity.
Oh no, me too. 100%. When I was playing Invoker that one,
Never
week,
leave
I
him
just
alone.
kept Emperor's Death beaming it. 100%. I just kept hitting that thing because then Robby has the mana aware. We want Robby to be on the stones.
I don't like being on my toes. I like to have the extra energy to play as many bodies. I want to go aggro. Why you guys gotta sit there and slow me down?
No, what I'm kind of wondering is, what are you doing right now that your turn's still going on? Because it's still the same turn you played the Hatch. Oh, you put a Buu out. So were you going defensive at that point?
Yes, I was just, since if I'm not able to attack anymore, as I said, I need to just get as many bodies and defense. I have to plan for his turn.
Mm-hmm. Now my thing.
Also,
go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, I saw a little bit of it during my buy. Then I did see. I was walking around, seeing other people's face, and so I knew that he does play. One of the scary things to watch out for, of course, was the Buu that I loved that I used to use in Agents.
The one they charge like
Gohan
turn 1.
Absorb.
Like that 7-drop that he currently has charged in his energy?
The one right in the energy.
And
that one I was very scared of.
He can play it from his energy, right?
Yep. There's the 1 cost. There was the new one in one of the sets that 1 cost, draw a card, pay 3, and play the Buu from your get a Gohan into drop and play the Buu from your energy. So that way you can get the Gohan under the Buu right away as well.
Yeah, and I was gonna say because then he plays the 1-drop Gohan that searches top 5 too. So that's actually really good.
Oh yeah.
It's not only just taking up slots, it's also I know there was a variant of Soul Striker I was going to try and build back in September that used the Buu package, but at that point, I even told myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it because there are so many people that play Soul Striker.
Oh. Here we go. Here's why I
Wait,
needed
how
to
do you
get
get
that
the Kefla
Buu.
out? Does she have an energy reduction?
Yes, because so what happens with Kefla, with how many blue cards he controls, it reduces her own cost down. The bare minimum, she starts out as a 7-drop, she can go down to a 3-drop.
A 3? Jesus.
Yeah,
And her
she
ability,
looked very scary.
Oh, so you prospected
So we're just gonna
it?
say no. No. We're God sealing. We're sending
God
that
sealing,
right back to
sorry.
hand.
God sealing.
Yep, he used his energy. We're just like, cool. Thanks for using your energy. You're not going to be able to get that back, really. So yeah, let's just keep that in your hand.
Well, my
We
thing
don't
was,
need to hurt you
if he
with that.
swung with Soul Striker, he could have just did it again.
Yes,
so
but then
the
he's
issue is
then he's not able to do anything in addition.
No, he could because I thought Kefla has the activate main where she untaps.
No. See, yes, Kefla untaps 2 energy on Robby's turn. That is what will happen. He draws 2 and untaps 2 on Robby's turn. The problem is that I don't think it's worth that at the time. I believe he wanted to go in for the kill this turn.
Who, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan, I think, wanted to go into the kill this turn. That's what I recall.
Yes,
But,
he wants to. I'm very scared because he's going at it. That's why I had to get rid of that Kefla, because like on his turn, cool, I can try and prepare and go on my aggro spree, but right now I'm needing to be defensive and scared of him killing me because I don't exactly have a lot of life. He's already used the hatch, so I don't have to be as scared on his turn. I have a chance to be able to try and drain his resources.
Because I was gonna say, at this point, what do you have? You have the blocker, and you have negates in your hand.
My only negate, I already played on the field on my turn because I don't want to use my main negate that I have is going to be my Garlic Jr., and I'm not going to want to use it because he has 2 of the Kai. In order to negate, I'm going to have to pitch 2 cards now.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already see right now he has the Golden Avenger in his hand, so I'm surprised he. Wait, how do we get rid of the Buu Unison? FS.
Attacking it.
But with what? Oh,
His
wait.
Unison.
Well, no. He starts out at 4. He hit you.
I start at 3.
Oh, you're right. And then you did the.
Yep.
Did you do a -1?
No, I do not believe I did a -1. He just hit it with the leader Unison.
But then he put the Kai in the drop. What else did he hit it with? Why'd it go away?
Trying to remember.
Yeah, no. What was the last marker that fell off of it? Misplay?
No, I don't think it was a misplay. There was something I missed there that he did to remove the marker.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then he's
spirit boosted
there's the play that we were talking about.
Wait, what he spirit boost for?
He's spirit boosted for the what's his face? I know exactly. He's a 20k double striker, draw cards. He's a hero. Can't think of his name.
Tapion?
He's part of the Harunagarn.
Tapion?
Yeah, Tapion. He played a Tapion the turn before Robby got rid of it.
Wait, here's my thing. So when Buu does the energy swap, it goes to his energy untapped?
It goes to his energy and then tapped, and then the 7-cost Buu untaps one of his energy.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, that's good.
So essentially, it comes in untapped. It might as well.
Okay. And then he's used Sensu Beam. He's gonna make it a 35 or 30.
Yeah, you can see I was at low enough health where this would have killed me, but he knew what was coming.
You lineaged, so you took it.
Yep. He knew what was coming. He was about to combo out to try and kill me, and then he's like, well, but then if you have the lineage, that's going to be bad, so I'm not going to do that.
I was going to say, I didn't think he was going to predict the lineage. Now, this was one thing was I think the conversation came up was he was saying, he first said, oh, the Buu's getting played, the Kai triggers. But then I'm like, oh, no, because it's just switching control. Now, here's the thing I was looking at was I think he got rid of the Buu was because I think he actually did do the baby unison. Because notice the baby unison still has 5 markers on it.
Oh yeah, he did do the baby unison. We just that was a misplay. We forgot to get rid of the baby unison. You'll probably see later in the video we just kind of move it off the board because it's like, oh yeah, this was gone a while ago.
But that's what I was trying to say was I think that's how he got the Buu off the field was he gave it the double strike. Mm-hmm. He gave his leader double strike for when he hit it.
Yeah, more than
likely. Yeah, he gains a 10k double strike and
or double
on his leader. And then I'm pretty sure what ended up happening.
But here's my thing: is he sideways baby after the leader swing? So did he get an additional swing? Because he swung Soul Striker first, untapped to 2 after he counterplayed the Kefla, and then he swung with baby unison. Because look, it's tapped. Because he did attack with it. Huh.
Yeah.
I guess neither of us noticed that because essentially he did the baby and at the same time he got the -5 because the -5 would have killed it. And now
he did the -5 after attacking.
But that's what I'm saying is what would he have -5 giving the buff to? You feel me? And then another thing I was going to say was in this case was the Heron lineage was how I said the counterplay. There was some confusion was that he was trying to say that the baby unison's effect is a replacement effect for cost. It's only a replacement effect in the counter window timing. So, because he was saying, oh, could I just play it for its energy cost by pitching 2? But the card baby unison specifically says for a counter attack for a counter ability on a card, you can pitch 2 instead. So it has to meet the counter window timing. Was what me and Xavier went over too, because he was trying to go in for game essentially by playing it for 2 by pitching 2. I'm like, if that was the case, I think the card would be absolutely broken and they would have eroded it by now.
See, if he was really thinking about this clearly and accurately, he would have been able to play that Kefla sooner. All he had to have done was -5 first.
And he did the counter,
and then and then counter, get rid of the heroic prospect, kill his bottom deck the Bobbity, and he probably would have won this game.
And that's what I'm saying is I think the baby did its -5, but he still swung with leader and baby. Because there's no other way I could think of how.
I think he messed up. Like I think messed up order. I think he messed up. He didn't remove the baby after the -5. I feel like there was if someone was watching. Clearly, he might have just cheated with that move in itself.
Yeah, we all misplay at this locals at this point. It's nothing competitive. But I was gonna say because if he would have actually did it how you said, he did the -5 baby, and then he tried to play the Kefla. Well, no, because I don't think he had the baby golden ape in hand at the start of turn, did he? I
believe I saw him. No, I saw him shuffling it in the video. I think he had it in his hand for a while.
Because I think
he just never. He didn't have enough energy to play it before.
I thought he drew into it. Was my thing.
Yeah. No, I know. I believe I saw him have it earlier in the game. He didn't have enough energy to use it for its counter ability, but this turn he could have used it for the counter to stop him from stopping his Kefla. Okay. He didn't. And by not doing it, it cost him the game. He was thinking he could play it for the he could play it later with that effect.
Well, and that's my thing is because Golden Avenger was something I was considering putting in my decks too. My only issue was I wasn't playing the baby unison. But even so, like I still play decks where I go untap 5 energy, but I can still untap a bunch of that energy. So tapping 5 to just play a counter attack, that still stops something is great. And in blue, having a counter is amazing.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, that I believe if you're trying to go for a win, and you have a baby unison, and you know you have a counter, just go for the -5, or as soon as your turn, like you charge your energy, turn starts, just -5 it.
Because that's what I was going to say. If
Don't
you're not
even
confident your leader can make contact, because your opponent's going to know. No, actually, you are right. Because if you're at 5 markers, there's no point to keeping the baby on board. Just -5 it right away, so you do have access to that counter or counter play. You are right.
Yes,
I've never thought in that regard. That's my thing.
It's more like because I used to play Blue Baby, you always want to be in control. That moment, that turn you're going for the win, that turn you're going for the game, you need to know, because you're not as like viral with your plays as other blue decks. Like you're not as aggro, you're not as aggressive. You're 100% control.
And see that baby unison, for his deck, if he was playing more like it was, if he had more counter attack or counter play battle cards, it'd be phenomenal, because Jordan developed such a huge hand size starting off early game. From what I noticed, he could have kept on using his hand instead of energy.
This is one thing that I feel like was somewhat of a misplay on his part.
Was what? Because he counterplayed that?
Or because the counterplay ability, if I remember correctly. Because basically, at one point, he could have gotten rid of. He chose not to get rid of.
Bobbity?
Yeah. He chose not to get rid of Bobbity and instead get rid of one of my attackers.
Well, because then he got rid of the counterplay, and then he got rid of the Buu, because he didn't want to see the triple striker make contact. Now the triple striker does make sense. I think in that call it made more sense, because the triple striker was more of a live threat than the Bobbity, because that's more of a chance.
No, and the thing is that Buu will restand again by taking one of his possible blockers or combo. Something he was not willing to make.
Yeah, so I think that was right in his. Yeah, I think that was right in his regard, because counterplaying that allowed him not only to get a triple striker on the field for his next follow-up turn, but he was able to stop you from playing one card, and then he got the Buu back into his area, not battle area, but like drop or somewhere.
Yeah,
he put it back in. Yeah,
he still just in general got that Buu off of my field, so that way I couldn't use it for my nefarious purposes.
Your very nefarious purposes.
Yes.
But outside of that, like, I'm trying to think, because I think this is the game turn right here, right? This is your last turn.
See, this was a really difficult decision, actually, because I was debating if I wanted to play the Majin Vegeta unison, because obviously he has a strong board presence there, as well as a lot of blockers, and playing that Vegeta unison would field wipe him. It would get rid of all of his cards, and then I could still use it to try and go for game. But the only issue being, then I'm having to use my 3 energy on that, and so I'm having to debate if I'm wanting to do that or spam with attacking with as many little ones as I can.
How do you untap 2 right now?
He used D-Magic, I believe.
Oh, he D-Magicked. I'm sorry. I'm like not paying attention at the same time. I'm staring right at the screen.
I decided to grab my search.
Now, is that useful at that point in the game? Because I thought it kind of becomes a brick at the end of the game.
It never becomes a brick, because it is always a free play. Look at the top 2. If they're both agents, get them both to my hand. And I can choose if I want to take a life or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, early game, he can net 3 cards. Late game, he can net 2 cards that could possibly win in the game.
Now, my thing is...
Or combo.
I think you were at 2 life at this point. You didn't want to strike life to add another resource to your hand?
Yeah, it was a very difficult choice, but I did.
So, we got to this point in the game. I don't know how. But we're here.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
I believe this game could have gone. If Jordan had more, I think a big issue with Jordan is I don't think he has enough experience with AOD. If he had more experience, he would have known 100% get rid of that Bobby as soon as possible. Any window he could take it, he should have just taken it.
But that's my thing. Did he have any other barrier poppers before the Golden Ape?
No, he didn't, and that's why it was more like if you, and he also forgot the golden rule. You see a blue unison with 2 or more markers. If you can't knock it down, make sure you have a counter or dummy body ready to take that.
See, but
God ceiling.
I always ignore that rule.
Yeah, because you're not a blue player.
I play blue decks. You cannot say that to me.
You don't play them properly, then. Don't ever ignore the golden rule.
This is why I decided. I had made the decision to not play the unison to just drain his resources.
Because I was gonna say because at this point you just decided to keep playing little bodies.
Yep.
Like because I realized you had 5 energy, I think, right?
Yep.
5 energy. That means you can get 3 more bodies on the field after you exhaust his blockers.
No, his leader. So his leader free plays a card, then he can then just keep dropping 1 or 2 drops all throughout that phase. So he has to keep comboing out.
If I'm not
a lot of it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Xavier. If I'm not mistaken, that chill token he has currently on the field doesn't have blocker.
Yeah, one of them did not have blocker. And then this is how I had to use my Garlic Juniors all game because I didn't want to play stuff on his turn.
Oh, because you just hard casted it and you get another body. I keep forgetting how stupid that Garlic Junior is.
Yeah, it is definitely a bro. If there was anything to be eroded about the deck, it would be the fact that Garlic Junior's effect doesn't matter if it's using its counterattack or if you just pay 1 and play it. It still gets its effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had all the D magic lined up for this last turn too. I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, that's why we needed. I figured he had plenty of counters, so that's why it's like he's a blue deck. The only way is to power through, attack as many times as possible.
And I was gonna say,
I know I was very upset.
Go on. I'm sorry.
I was very upset with the D Magic because I did have a Champa in hand and was really hoping to hit him with that double strike.
Mm-hmm.
So that D Magic.
This just goes to show you experience and experience helps a lot here because. If, like I said, if Jordan had just thought it through on his turn, that whole game could have been different.
This is very true.
No, yeah, because
no matter what you plan for,
you
have to always plan for your opponent, and you can't really plan for your opponent's moves because everyone's got their own mind. You never know what they'll end up switching up.
And see, now in this point at the game, I come to realize that when he says no negate with all that energy up, you know he has nothing left.
Oh yeah.
Because then I was gonna say you still had the energy to play 1 more thing plus another one too.
Yep.
Except and I think this one knocks a card out of the hand, right?
Made.
Yep. And that one knocked a card.
That one knocks a card out of the hand, and then the evil part is that if you see in the far left corner. In my left corner, there's another agent there, the Android 13.
Oh, you had another agent still up?
No, he wasn't up, but he was in there on the field, and his ability is that I can pay 2 energy to KO something and make my opponent discard a card.
Oh, pure evil.
Which, as you can see,
and he comboed that, but then you have 1 more swing you can do, right? Yep. Realistically, you can just tap 2, play 1 more, because he only had 1 card in his hand, and there was no way it was a negate. Because at that rate, you would not risk running that many resources into the ground. And
Exactly.
And there you go. That was the last card. It was the Buu. But I mean, this game was such a great video. Robby ended up winning. This is the third week in locals, and we're trying to get Robby to switch his deck up. I think this week you said you're going to be playing Green Buu, right? If you can run it.
Yep, I'm going to try and get the cards together to get a decent build going for Green Buu. I've test played it a bit. It seems pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. Hopefully that works out. But thanks, guys, for watching the video today. Again, if you guys are in the Chicagoland area, we're over on Koalaty Games near Harlem and North Avenue. If you guys aren't familiar, check out the description. I'll have the link to the Facebook page. Then thanks again for watching our video, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks for watching. See you later.
Yeah.